watch this video before spending these $5 bills because they sold for a lot more money than you may imagine. Let's take this 1969 $5 bill, for example, that sold for $104. Now, I would love to be able to turn a $5 bill into $104 like this person did. We're going to show you the key areas on this specific bill that allowed it to sell for $104. So again, this is a 1969 $5 bill. On that left-hand side of the bill, you will see a large letter G standing for the district seal. So these seals can come anywhere from A all the way to L. This specific one is from the Chicago district. You can see that the start of the serial number also starts with a G, and there is a number 7 in 4 locations around the bill. That is because G is the 7th letter in the alphabet. Now, if any of those don't ever match, you could be in for a real treat because that would be a big error note. So just to confirm, if that was an A instead of a G on the left-hand side, then the serial number should start with an A, and then 4 numbers should be a 1. If that was a large B, then the serial number should start with a B, and the numbers around the bill should be a 2, all the way till 12, which is an L, standing for the San Francisco district. The main reason on this bill for its value of $104 is because 1 is a star note, you can see the star at the end of the serial number, and 2, it's a very highly graded note at a 67. That means there is no folds on this bill, and the centering of the bill is really nice. You can see the margins around the bill are very nicely centered. $104 for this one, $870 for this 1928 $5 bill. Light green seal. You can see this has an H standing for the St. Louis district, which is the 8th letter in the alphabet. Main thing here is that this was the first year of issue for the small size paper money bills, 1928. Before that, they actually had large size bills, which were much bigger than our bills today. If you have a 1928 $5 bill, light green seal that's in nice condition like this, $870 for this one. Now, even if it's in lower graded condition, it's still going to be worth good money, so make sure you hold on to it and contact someone that knows what they're talking about, because $870 for this bill is a lot of money. $1,260 for this 1928 $5 bill, numeral type bill. So instead of it being a letter on the left-hand side, you see a number there. That means this is a numeral type bill. Now, if you want to know exactly how much your bill is worth, you can join our membership. There will be a link down below where you can send photos to our group, or we recommend going to 3 different coin shops around you and seeing what each of them say. Now, if they all tell you the same thing, then they're probably telling you the truth. Condition's going to be a big thing on this specific bill, but $1,260 for this one. The last bill was graded at a 63. This one was graded at a 66, which is 3 points higher, and it sold for $3,120. Now, it's pretty much the same exact note, but the centering of the bill is better. So the centering really does matter on uncirculated notes with no folds on them like this one, because it sold for $3,120. All right, these are real United States legal tender notes. So back in the day, this is the color of the ink that they used for these legal tender notes. Now, this is an uncut sheet of 12 $5 bills that sold for $5,520. Now, if you ever inherit anything like this, it's so critically important that you contact someone that knows what they're talking about, because you do not want to take something like this to a pawn shop or someone that doesn't know what they're doing, because they will intentionally or unintentionally rip you off and give you maybe a few $100s for something like this, when in reality, this one sold for $5,520. $8,400 for this 1934A $5 bill pack of 100. So there's a face value of $500. Now, you will notice the color is really wrong. It's blue. Well, it's not really wrong. They're just called silver certificates. So back in the day, you could bring a $5 bill silver certificate like this with blue seal and serial numbers and exchange it for equal value of silver at your local bank. What a cool concept that used to be, but unfortunately, we cannot do that today anymore. Because someone kept these consecutive notes together with a face value of $500, someone was able to turn $500 into $8,400. All right, so when you're looking at the back of this 1977 $5 bill, you wouldn't have any idea that it sold for $8,400, but it really is an error that occurred called a multiple impression error you'll see on the front of the bill that allowed this bill to sell for $8,400. Now, the thing is, this bill graded at an extremely fine 40. That tells us that this bill went out into circulation. It was getting paid for at your local store. People had no idea what this meant until someone that knew that this was wrong pulled it out of circulation, put it in their collection, got it graded, and sold it for $8,400. $9,600 for this 1977 $5 bill. So pretty much, the back of the bill is the first print on all US paper money, then the front of the bill is the second print, and the third and final print is that overprint, which you see with the seal on the left and right, and then the serial numbers. For some reason, after the second print and before the third print, a piece of paper got put on the right-hand side of this bill, and it struck that piece piece of paper obstructing the area behind the bill. And they kept this together. And if you ever come across this, don't throw that piece of paper away on the bottom, because that allows this bill to sell for a lot more money. If you didn't have that piece of paper on the bottom, we can nearly guarantee this bill would have sold nowhere near the amount of $9,600. Another silver certificate bill, this one's from 1934, and it sold for $15,600. If you haven't guessed it already, it is because of that very unique and awesome serial number that has a solid number 4 on it. People love collecting rare serial numbers like this, especially on nicely graded 1934 silver certificate $5 bills like this one. Again, $15,600 it sold for, $38,400 for this 1934 $5 bill. Now, this is one of our favorite types of error notes in existence. We love this type of bill. Now, there's nothing out of the ordinary going on with the front of this bill. It's only when you flip it over to the back that you notice this is a double denomination error. So the back of the bill is a $10 bill and the front of the bill is a $5 bill. Some people will joke around and call this a $15 bill, but trust us, you do not want to take this one to the local store and use it for $15. One, it would confuse the heck out of someone and they would probably call the cops thinking that you're some sort of fraudster. And two, there's way more collector value in this bill and it should never be spent. This is an incredible note and we love seeing bills like this getting sold. Again, $38,400. If you enjoyed this video, then share it with a friend.